Hello everyone and welcome back to Ravensberg. Now I'm just at the cowshed because I'm just checking on them, so I've just topped them up with water so they've got enough water to be carrying on with. Luckily they're still grazing, so I think after the last episode their grass was all the way down and they were running out of food, but overnight it's refreshed itself. And there's a little bit of maize silage in there because that was the output, that was what they were kicking out in their mess trough. So I put that back in with the bucket that we got with the telehandler. So yeah, they're looking good. I'm hoping at some point today, tomorrow morning, we can get some hay for them, because after we mowed this second grass field yesterday, I went and tedded it because I found a tedder in the shed. So you can see sort of the texture has changed and it's flicked it everywhere. I'm not holding up high hopes for a big yield on this because unfortunately the forecast didn't give rain, but it did rain. So yeah, it may have rotted away a little bit. I don't know. Only time will tell. But yeah, the clover started to grow back a little bit, which is why it looks a little bit sunken in. But we need to go and get a windrower today to sort that out. We can then feed that to the cows as part of their feed. Boost them up another little bit. At the moment, we've got 17,500 litres of slurry without really trying. We only went and fetched them. Other than that, they're just grazing off the free grass that's around. The silage bales, I think it's still a little bit early, with it being 11 o'clock. Let's have a look. So this has got a few hours to go. Yeah, so these will be ready sort of this evening time. And these ones won't be ready till tomorrow, probably. Yeah, so they'll be ready tomorrow after lunch. I managed to sort a weight out for the telehandler. So this is Art Mechanic weight. It's 1,500 kilograms, and I've tried it out already and it is pretty good. So I'm happy with that, and I don't think it was very expensive as well. I'll put down in the description a link to that if you're wanting it. So today, if you notice at the top, we're up to temperature. So I can actually finally get some crop in the ground. Our sugar beet are looking quite good. So I did say that we were going to rent the Warrior for the season, and we are, most definitely. So let's start off with field 5 because we want to put corn in field 5. Just change that. Corn, there we go. Now I'm going for corn with the idea that we would go for maize silage. It's been a long while since I've done a sort of maize silage harvest, a forage harvest. Oh, I had courseplay going on field 16 as well, so that message there is, I'm going to go from the top. That message is just telling me that the last contract is done. The money went up a little bit. We sold £52,000 worth of wood since the last episode. And we did a load of contracts as well. I think we've probably made about 40,000 on the contracts. And that was the last fertilising contract I took on. But there's still more coming all the time. I'm not sure about these cultivating contracts. I wouldn't have thought it was the time of year to cultivate. And yeah, fertilising ones coming up all the time. But they're relatively low cost at the moment. So let's just whiz in and find our guy so we can stop him. And we can send him back to the yard. I did create a course that went all the way down this road, so we shouldn't have a problem finding his way back to the yard. So I haven't extended down here yet, but certainly he can, you know, get himself to that road just there. There we go. Hopefully he can get past the trees. Should be aware of the collisions. Okay, I wouldn't have thought that was the fastest way to go, but we have to assume that he's going the right way. Let's just stop him. I would have thought this way was the best way to go, would it not? Unless I did something wrong, but I'm sure that I married all of these courses up. So let's put him on the right direction. There you go. He's following it now. So if we hop back into the Deutz fahr, so let's turn her on. Excited to get this corn in. First, like, sort of real harvesting crop of the year. I know we've got the sugar beet going on, but it's nice to have a mixture between the root crop and your actual sort of cereal crops, grain crops. Good to have a nice mixture. Now, I've not put fertiliser in this for this field because, as maybe you might remember, if not, I will remind you, we independently put nitrogen on this field, so it's actually, I don't think it needs any more. I'm hoping that corn isn't the type of crop that doesn't require much nitrogen, because obviously I wouldn't have known at the time, which was a little bit of a mistake on my part. Let's go down this way as well. It's quite difficult to turn with this trailer hitch. It's notoriously difficult because it gets kind of stuck, like it doesn't kind of turn very well. It's turning circles not very well with this on the back. I think all Great Plains have that problem. And the good thing about this mod as well is that it cultivates at the same time. So I think the field was already cultivated when we inherited it, but that means, you know, if we do put any other crop in, I mean, I know I'm going to have to plough it after the corn we're putting in, but in the future we can just use this to cultivate at the same time as seeding. That's going to save us a lot of time. I think I may have misjudged that a little bit. Yeah, I'll have to come back and sort that out. I think I went a little bit off course whilst I was looking at the map. I don't think the owner of Field 4 will mind me just clipping the edge of their field. The grass field is looking like it's growing back quite well as well. Hopefully we'll get another harvest off that field before the end of the year. It is only early summer, so maybe in a couple of days. So remember, we're running 6-day seasons, so hopefully in a couple in-game days it'll be ready again. We can maybe do a little bit more silage. We could do maybe hay if we don't get much off the clover, I'm thinking. Also, it'd be quite good of us to give the cows some feed as soon as possible as well, really, because I did notice that they are pregnant already. So I think in 7 months we're going to get our first offspring, which means that in 7 months we'll be producing milk. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do cows so quickly. So if we have a look at the cows, if we go down, you see 7, oh, wrong button, 7. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 cows that are pregnant at the moment out of the 30 we bought, which is pretty good, because that means that the others are not going to be far behind, are they? Also, apologies for there being no video for the last 2 days. I am planning on, it'll be Thursday by this time this one comes out. I was off work on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I will be next week as well, which means I can't upload because if you don't know, I can't upload from home because my Wi-Fi is so poor. I get less than 1 megabits upload speed, although my download and sort of online gameplay is not too bad. So I have to upload these when I go to work. So it means that I haven't uploaded for a couple of days, which is unusual for me because I did promise that I was going to be putting out sort of Tuesday and then Wednesday or Thursday. But what that means for you guys is that you're going to get a video now. So today will be Thursday. On today, tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, so a weekend video from me. So let's see how we get on putting out a weekend video. See if the views are any different maybe. I'm not entirely sure because sometimes I don't work the weekends. So yeah, so apologies that there's been a little bit of a gap this week. I'm trying to get a backlog because I do go away on holiday for 2 weeks in August and I won't have access to doing videos or anything, but it's really hard to get a backlog when I only do this in the morning, so there might be a couple of weeks quite soon where nothing is put out, but I'll let you know closer to the time where I'm at. I know that there are cedars bigger than this one, but this is a really good value for it being a cultivator as well. And the Warrior's having no problem in pulling this. I think the Warrior's 263 horsepower. No problem at all. And it's all come out nice neat lines as well. Let's just make sure I'm sticking into the middle. I probably put this grass a little bit too close to the edge as well. I might have to sort that out at the end. I already went over a little bit, so we're going to have some random corn stalks growing a little bit further up. Oh, I just did the same there as well. Oops. I'll have to just go over those, I think. Ooh, what's that shadow? That's so cool how it casts a shadow. Where is it a balloon? Oh, I can't see it. I can't go up further enough. It looks like it's a shadow from one of the balloons. What I'll do at the edge of that grass field, I think I will just landscape like a grass patch up the middle of it just to give us a little bit more space. And we're going to end up with an annoying strip. I don't like these little annoying strips, but the cedar can't obviously do an equal amount of length. But that's fine. It's taken no time at all, I think. I think when did we start? Probably about less than 10 minutes ago? Yeah. It's pretty good going. And we'll waste no time. We'll get straight on to field 1 as well. Getting the soybean in. Now the soybean, I'll store it because the best time to sell soybean, if I remember rightly, is probably like spring. So you have to keep it for almost a year before you can sell it for a decent price. However, I think we've got the forage extension, the mixer wagon for the cows, if we want to go down that route, will take soybean. So maybe we can sort ourselves out with something like that. So let's just get the last strip done and we can head on over to field 1. Make sure I change the crop as well. There's been plenty of incidents where I've forgotten to change the crop. And then once field 1 is done, we'll go and get ourselves a windrower so we can sort this clover out that I've thrown all over the field. Hopefully it will dry. I'll just recheck the weather in a second. Right, there we go. And what does it say? Nitrogen is good. Yeah, see, that's what happens when you pre-fertilise. I've over-fertilised because how does the field know what crop I'm going to put in it? So it's just kind of put a standard amount on. That's perfect in some places. Anyway, I'd think that we're still going to get a good yield off this. You always do with maize silage. I don't have any reason to keep any unless I want to sell some for CCM or anything like that. But yeah, I don't think so. I think it's all going to be maize silage for the cows at the moment. So I nearly forgot to fill up the fertiliser before I went to the field. Now I did top up. Let's see. I did top this silo up with fertiliser. You can see it sort of lying in the bottom there, so I shouldn't have a problem popping fertiliser in this. Just get under the trigger. I can't get far enough out. Oh, or does... I think it takes liquid fertiliser. Hang on a second. I think it does. I think this is the one that takes liquid fertiliser. Where is it? Yeah, liquid fertiliser. So the others, they all take... You see all the ones here at the bottom? Where it's seed and solid fertiliser? I remember now, that's why that's not working. I don't think I have any liquid fertiliser. Okay. Change of plan. What I'll do, I want to keep what's left in here. I don't think 1,193 litres is going to be enough. I'm not sure how much this takes. 2,000 litres maybe? And what I'll do is... I'll send this guy to fill this up with liquid fertiliser. And then bring it to the field for us. Because I think this is an 8,000 litre capacity or 10,000 litre capacity. So we shouldn't really have a problem. So let's work out where I can get him to do that for us whilst we head back to the field. There we go. So they go to the loading point to drop off. Right. I need to pay more attention to those symbols. I'm such a klutz. Right, let's leave him to it and get back into the Warrior, and we'll head on over to field 1. I'm just waiting for the money to start tanking down in the top right hand corner, because I don't know how expensive this liquid fertiliser is for this. I hope that I can fill this straight up from the tank. I hope it recognises it. Only time will tell. So we'll get set up and we'll wait for that guy to come back. And I don't know if you can hear that, but I can hear the wind through my headphones as well, which is a good sign, which means that clover should be drying with no problems at all. I said I was going to check the weather, didn't I? And I didn't. So whilst we're waiting for liquid fertiliser person... There you go. Look at that, how it casts a shadow. Top ace is 8 ball. It's very good. So let's look at the weather. I don't know whether you can hear the wind now. It's quite faint. Well, it looks like we've got every opportunity to dry over the next couple of days. So there'd be no reason why that wouldn't turn into hay. I mean, unless I turned it into hay already by tedding it, but I think I cut it when it was wet. I think that texture that we got initially was wet clover or fresh clover. And then I think you have to ted it to semi-dry it and then ted it again for hay. But then you would leave it, wouldn't you, in seasons? You'd leave it to turn into hay. So we'll see. We'll see by the end of tomorrow if anything has happened. And if not, we've got a second chance for hay on the grass field, I suppose. He should be there by now. Maybe we're not in the trigger. If I move a little bit more forward. Right, okay. Whoa. 296 for 274 litres. Right, okay. We need it though, and we need it going forward, and we can always drop it off into the silo. So what I need to do then is this waypoint. I'm going to change this waypoint to... this next one here, but I'm just going to bring it forward a little bit. So if I hold left alt, I can delete that, scroll out a little bit, join those two together, and then call this one Harbour Liquid Fert. And that should be enough. Let's take now. Drop that back down into the harbour by. Oh, crumbs. It would be on a dolly as well. Do you know what? Let's see. Hopefully this is now enough room. So let's just kind of do a U-turn and get him back on the track, because it's a one-way track down here. I made sure it was one way. Ooh, by the skin of my teeth. Right. Now, load at liquid for take. My mouse going a bit funny. To field 1. This should work this time. Just the waypoint wasn't far enough forward. They should recognise the fill trigger, but this is, I think this is going to cost us a little bit of a fortune. Maybe about £10,000. Yeah, there we go. He's done it. The trigger is now far enough forward. Oh, 8,300. I wasn't as bad. Oh, it is 8,000 capacity. So that's just over 1,000 for 1,000 litres. Right, now we'll go back. Whilst we're waiting for him to come back to us, let's see if I can landscape a little bit over here. I'm going to put a sort of bigger strip up so I don't end up with some random pieces of corn growing in my grass. Grass and grass. So I'll use the mouse because I think it's probably a little bit easier. It's probably a little bit bigger than it needed to be, but do you know what? For how it needs to turn, I think it's probably necessary. So if I do that, it's going to take a bit of the field off. Now we can cut this grass because it will grow, so it doesn't really matter that I'm taking off a little bit of the edge of the field. I need a decent turning circle there, otherwise this is going to happen every time and it will annoy me. There we go, so that'll grow. There's a few little bits of weeds and stuff, but that's fine. And now we'll just wait until he turns up. Okay, here they are. I kept saying he and it's a girl. I need to get out of that habit. Okay, well, she's done a good job. Wrong button. Now, I should just be able to pull up against this and fill up. If not, I've no idea what I'm going to do. I'll have to take it back to the yard. Oh dear. I thought I would have been able to just fill up next to it. If not, this is a bit of a disaster. Let's just see if I can pull up next to it. Wonder where the trigger is. I mean, it might be somewhere at the front, a little bit closer to. Oops. Without cutting my wheels. Ah, there we go. I just had to be a little bit closer to it. Random amount. 1,514 litres. So... Okay, so let's get all set up and we'll be ready to start. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. I'm going to leave the tanker just there on the left just in case I use all of the fertiliser. I think sometimes these seeders use a lot more fertiliser than they do actual seed, so we'll just leave that there for now and then we can get them to drop off what they need to. So I am aware that soybeans may still be broken with precision farming, so I'm not sure about the fertilising. It just sort of came to me as we were doing that just then, but let's have a look at the... Yeah, see, it's not changing anything, but it is actually putting fertiliser down. We'll just go with it because I'm not going to stop just now. So yeah, I think soybean's still broken. Just out of curiosity, what does it say on the ground? Yes, it says nitrogen perfect, but then nitrogen. Yeah, it says it doesn't require any, but that is that's not true because it's going to require at least some fertiliser, I would have thought. So yeah, let's get this field done. I'm pretty conscious that I spent the past 25 minutes, I think, waffling on, from what I can tell. So let's get this field done, and I'll see you back at the end, and we'll go and grab a windrower for the last job of the day. Okay, so we're nearly done. Yeah, I kind of misjudged it a little bit, so it did take probably just a few minutes longer than it would have done normally. I could have just let the worker to go up and down, but actually, I just found it quite therapeutic doing it just now. So, can we, just before we finish, appreciate the effects of that powdered lime on this tractor? Wow. I mean, are those lights? Are they lights on? Or I don't think I put the lights on. Oh yeah, they were on. That's cool. The effects of planting on lime. It's such a cool texture. It's just so much more realistic than actually not having any texture on it at all. I think if you were to seed or do anything on top of lime, it would be powdery like that. See, look at that, just tractor's clean. Wheels are dirty. The simplest of things in life. So that's it. It's actually, if you have a look at how much liquid fertiliser we've got, it's actually a little bit embarrassing. We used 14 litres on this whole field. Now, if I'm playing rugby, I could probably drink 14 litres in a day. And we've just used that on the acreage that is this field. But that's okay. Do you know what? We've got so much now to last us, and we will use it on the other fields. I think if soybean wasn't as broken with the precision farming, we would have definitely used it. So let's head back to the yard, drop this off, and I will meet you at the shop because we need to go and get ourselves a windrower. Okay, so now we're at the shop. We should buy this windrower. Sir, category windrowers. I don't think we need anything fancy, although it would be nice to have a big one. Shall we go for the Kverneland Vicon equipment one, just so that it matches our fast bale? And we can take it second hand. I can't remember if I think we had Vicon one, so let's do that. 35,000, that's quite a big windrower. Now, we finished with the Deutz fahr now, but we have it until midnight, and we've just got ticked over 2 hours, so we did actually pay about 4 grand. So I'm not going to send it back just yet, because we've still got another sort of 0.9 hours. We've got almost another hour to use this before we get charged again, so I'm going to use this to just quickly tidy up this grass field. You wouldn't even be able to tell that was really that much second hand. I mean, it's a little bit chipped and scratched, but it will still do the job. It's not gonna rake, is it? So let's head to grass field 2. So this windrower is a little bit overkill for what we need just here, but as I was sowing field 1, I was thinking, you know, field 2 is a massive grass field. I'm thinking of investing in that, you know. Can we just find out how much that is? 381,000. Right, okay, it's quite a lot. However, it's not unachievable if we sell, you know, sell our grains, crops, wood especially. If I did like 4 loads of wood, but it would be nice to have that, I think. So let's just see. Now, I know it's not quite ready yet, but there's no harm in actually putting it into rows whilst it's drying, because I don't actually think it makes a difference. And yeah, it doesn't seem like we got an awful amount off here, but it's growing back and we'll get another cut, I'm sure. Oh, I'm missing bits there. Never mind. And I want to just come at it horizontally as well, because I want to do this now, because every time I look at the field it's just annoying me a little bit. I would rather it just be all rowed up and ready to go, and then I can at least be able to tell when it changes colour completely, and then I can say, yep, right, it's ready, so let's go, you know. And it's not a massive job. It's not taken us that, well, it's not taken us any time at all, has it really? Today's been a good productive day though. I mean, the day's not over yet, but we need to make sure that those silage bales are all fermented now. That'll be the next thing to check. Yeah, definitely we'll be able to tell now when it changes. I'm hoping for sometime later on today. I just want to get those bits that I missed in here as well. I quite like the bulginess of this this rower, how it's got that thick bar in the middle. That's good. Again, I'm not really sure where I'm going to put this, but we'll find a space. Right. Is it going in? Yep. think we're going to have to take it. I mean, do you know what? I can put it in the end of this one, can I not? I mean, will it... Oh. Yeah, it'll fit in there. We'll make it fit. I didn't want to put that tanker in there because it's just impossible for me to... I haven't got the time to keep reversing. I mean, it's a little bit big, but we'll just leave it there. Can we go back a bit more? That's about as far back as we can go. Ah, that'll be fine. It's just such a tight fit. Okay, so that didn't take as long as I thought. Just another sort of 0.1 of an hour. So let's just park the Deutz fahr back up and I can have that sent back before next time. So I think we'll leave it there. Things are ticking along quite nicely. So if you've enjoyed yourself, please remember to give the video a thumbs up. It really does help. And I'll catch you on the next one. Cheerio.